We all know that it's so important now, the older we get, to take really good care of our health and our well-being. But at the exact same time, I've noticed that the older I get, the harder it is for me to make the right decisions regarding my health and my fitness. You would think, since we're older and wiser, making the right choices would be easier. After all, when we were young, we were invincible to some extent, or we felt like we were. And so, of course, we're going to make the wrong decisions. But I don't remember back in the day having to negotiate with myself about, do you need to go to the gym? Yes. Do you need to take a walk? Sure. Do you need to skip dessert? Okay, no problem. Now it's not so easy. I have gained a lot of weight in the last few years, and I've had some health scares, so it's more important than ever. And yet this is not a video about my healthcare journey or my fitness journey. It's just that I know a lot of us have experienced the same things. And so I just want to talk about a few of the things that I've experienced lately as I've tried to get healthier and more fit, stronger, less stressed, and all that jazz. I walk into the grocery store with the very best of intentions. Then I'm immediately greeted by cookies, donuts, cakes, pies. I mean, look at these powdered sugar donuts. They're not even pretending to be healthy. They're just sitting there saying, you know you want me. If only broccoli tried that hard to get my attention. Then I make it over to the section with all that health stuff, and suddenly I'm surrounded by protein powders, vitamins, supplements, and products with names I can't begin to pronounce, some of which I probably need. And they're all so expensive. I stopped and looked at this one supplement that was over $55 to improve my health. Next thing I knew, I was in the bakery department and found more proof that it's a lot cheaper to make bad decisions than good ones. This huge, beautiful cake tried to jump in my basket, and it was hard not to let it. Now, before anybody starts judging my shopping basket, there were fruits and vegetables in there. I was doing well. And then somehow I noticed at checkout a cheesecake. I guess it snuck in while I was consternating over the collagen powder. At least it has some protein in it. And calcium, maybe. And you know, we already have all the information we need. We don't need the next infomercial about the great superfood that's now available, or the next yoga pose that's going to change everything about your body shape. No. At our age, we know a lot about a lot, and it's time we just start using it, I think. I just had no idea I would suddenly develop a sweet tooth after 60, and chocolate would become my spirit animal. And the decision about whether to go to the gym, that decision, well, the struggle is real. I never used to be intimidated by a gym, but somewhere along the way it got weird. I walk around looking at today's machines and wonder if they're going to make me healthier or launch me across the room. I know movement makes me feel better. I never regret coming here. It's just getting myself through those front doors that's become the hardest part of the workout. At least I'm getting some steps in while I wander around until something looks familiar. And then I remember, this isn't really about becoming a world-class athlete. It's just about becoming someone who keeps showing up. We're in this for the long haul, right? And that's a lot less intimidating. Some days, success just looks pretty dang ordinary. Well, I saw the weirdest things at the gym. This one gal, I swear she was pushing a small truck across the floor. I don't know what that contraption was, but she was built like a house, and she was getting it across. I don't know if she was training to become a furniture mover or what. And then there's the names of the exercises. Burpees, really? Burpee. It sounds more like a side effect from eating too much cabbage than an exercise. We all know it comes down to the basics. We need to move more. We need to eat better. We need to sleep better, and we need to manage our stress. Sounds easy, but I know that it is. Just move. Even if it's taking this weird little ball, get up from the couch for a minute while you're watching TV and just move. That's the most important thing at our age, and cut the sugar. I am no nutritionist and I am no fitness guru, but I'm just sharing what I think, because I know we're all in the same boat. Wow. I got a little winded just tossing this little ball. Now I'm going to show you something else that I've been doing. So now I'm going to make a protein smoothie. And of course, this is a lot harder than it would be to shove a muffin or two down my gullet. Putting in some mango, some ground flaxseed, a little bit of yogurt, because I'm going to be using whey protein, which already has a lot of dairy in it. Here is the protein powder. Really delicious, unsweetened. And then a bunch of frozen berries. Gives it that icy texture. With some water. You could use juice. My gosh, I'm acting like I'm doing a cooking show. I'm not a cooking show. I have no idea what I'm doing. This is not our Father's blender, or whatever that saying is. I should do a cooking show. If only I knew how to cook. That's not bad looking. Tastes pretty good. So the problem lies between knowing and doing every day the same thing over and over that we know we need to do. I'm talking to myself here. So my experiences lately with some health issues have definitely put this health issue top of mind. So I'm really committed this time. But the thing is, a health scare does not automatically or magically transform us into disciplined creatures. Human beings just don't work that way. It worked for about a week. I mean, yeah, maybe I was scared straight for a while, but it wasn't very long before I was pulling into Sonic and getting me a hot fudge sundae and sitting on the couch being way too sedentary, making videos. Or adding that croissant to my Starbucks order, so I'll get more reward points. Yeah, that's how I negotiated that deal. Do you negotiate with yourself like that? I'd love to hear about it. But I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to overly push myself. We've all learned that that doesn't really work, for long anyway. I'm just going to do my best to make the right decisions, and when I make a wrong decision, not going to beat myself up about it, because that's letting it beat you twice, because it creates more stress and you get upset, and then that's bad for your health too. So if you mess up, just move on. That's what I'm trying to do. I know, it's silly, but whatever gets me off the couch, right? Ooh. Tell me about your health and fitness struggles or successes. I'd love to hear about them in the comments. Until then, I'll see you in the next video.